Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by. Joe here today, and I'm here with a good friend of mine. Really, he's like a brother to me, as is a lot of people in Fragcom, brothers, sisters, what have you. Today we call this segment the Can-Am Connection. That's kind of what we call ourselves. I'm here teaming up with my good friend Chad, also known as White Spirit Bear. He's a fellow reviewer on YouTube. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the point. The reason why you are here today is because we are going to introduce our top personal favorite scents, as well as our not nightlife, like club hopping, but more so it can be, but like just in general. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and do whenever I have an event to attend, or when I'm going to like a really nice lounge. So let's go ahead and start this off very, very easily with my top personal selection. Up first, we have an item from Neil Morris. Now, first of all, let me preface this by saying that my top 3 personal all-time favorites will not be in here, only because I feel like it will be redundant to add these into the mix. You know, it's back to Black, Japan Noir, and Bois d'Argent. So I've just completely removed those from the category, just so this way you can see and find out about some newer fragrances. Okay? So first up, we have Neil Morris's Gotham. This comes from the perfumer Neil Morris. Fairly affordable, considering this EDP concentration. 2 ounces, Gotham, yuzu, amber, spices, slight cinnamon-like, hints of rose, but it's more of like a amber-like scent. And some leather too. There is leather in here. And this is a really good scent. I really like this, some really sexy stuff. And of course, by the name, it's based off of Fallen, New York. That's why I love it. Up next, really, if I would have not decided to go as deep into the fragrance game as I did, I would have really stuck to this. Was going to be my signature, and when I first bought this, I intended it to be that way. You all know I love my Tonka Allure Sport Eau Extreme. Pretty much if you smell the Allure Sport or Allure Sport Extreme, it's eerie, similar kind of. The one thing I'll say is that this has a lot more Tonka, whereas on me, Allure Homme Sport just came off kind of like pine cleaner kind of thing. I like this better, lasts longer anyways, and this is my #1 compliment getter. Even though Allure Sport Extreme is my compliment getter, this one has rapidly climbed the charts in the short amount of time that I've had it. More importantly, this thing has already smashed Aventus, yes, the almighty Aventus, for my second most complimented fragrance that I own. This scent from Tom Ford's Private Blend, Cafe Rose. Despite the name Cafe Rose, it's not that much coffee. This is predominantly a rose scent, and it is still masculine enough that a man could wear it. Just please do not overspray. You're gonna get slight coffee, lots of rose, and some other like pepper, like slight pepper accord also I've picked up in here. But this is nice. I like this a lot and has climbed the charts to one of my personal favorites. You're gonna see this thing everywhere. I told you all, I'm hyping this thing up massively. Histoire de Parfums, $18.99, Ernest Hemingway. I mean, if you already haven't seen the reviews on it, well, my review on it, you're gonna get vanilla, iris, cinnamon. You're gonna get just other notes of spices. Really, really, really good stuff. Great for the fall time, great for the cooler weather. I enjoy it. I am rounding off my top 5 with a beautiful scent. I recently purchased this like within the last month or two. This was prior to my engine blowing. And this scent, you're gonna get booze, leather, and woods. Very dark, very sexy. Intended for women, but as we all know in the fragrance game, no one thing is set for a specific gender. Idol EDP by Lubin. Like I said, rum, mega boozy, just uber boozy. Some leather and a whole bunch of wood, just almost every kind of wood in the world, with the exception of maybe agar wood. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that was in here too, because it is very dark. I like this a lot. Very sexy stuff. Okay, now it's looking like it's about time for me to get ready. So give me a second and bear with me. Now, when I'm dressed for my upscale situations, when I'm dressed to impress, I've got 5 that I really go to also. So let's check them out. Number 1, of course, the Universal Switch Knife Cologne. You're gonna get ginger, you're gonna get citrus, even though that citrus will come off like an apple accord. Musk. Now this you gotta be careful. It'll last a long time on some, and it'll only last a matter of an hour or 2 on others. So just be careful, try it out. Try any and all of these scents out. Number 2, I'm not really a big fan of the Armani House, but they did hit a home run for sure with this one. And surprisingly still does not receive as much recognition as it should. Code U, as I like to call it, or Armani Code Ultimate, really perfect. I prefer this over DHI, even though it's supposed to be like an infusion of DHI with the regular code, simply because I find this one to be a little bit more versatile and a lot more appealing. I personally love DHI, but I like this just a little bit more, and perfect for a situation like this. Very seductive, tonka, semi-sliced citrus, powdery like, so if you don't like powder, you might not like it. Number 3, I'm not even gonna lie, without the credit of another great reviewer, Mr. Zayas81, Renee. I would not have been able to find this fragrance. He posted it about a month or 2 ago saying this is the Floyd Mayweather of vanillas. I haven't tried Spiritueuse Double Vanille, but I will still say this is the best vanilla that I've ever smelled. Sadly, it is discontinued, but for upscale situations, vanilla is one of the classiest things you could wear. And Mickey Off's Note Vanille. Really beautiful citrus and super boozy vanilla. I mean, we're talking about this has not just rum. When I said boozy for Lubin, that was just rum, a boozy rum. This is like double booze because it has rum and cognac with vanilla and a beautiful citrus opening. I enjoy this stuff a lot, and I'm really sad that it's discontinued, but I am glad I got a bottle. Check it out. Check out on the sites though. I'm pretty sure you could probably still find one. Number four is one of the only bonds that I do like, and this being Shea Bond. The Green Irish Tweed clone, very clean, very green tea-ish, citrus, and musk. That's really what I'm getting from this. It's good stuff. Really, it's the only bond that I truly like and that I decided to get a bottle on. And I might even refill it when it's empty, but I do like this stuff, especially for upscale situations in the summertime. Finally, the push continues. I am pushing John Barbados Vintage as an upscale situational event. That for some will only last about 4 hours. Me, I'm getting a solid 7 from it. Perfect for any upscale situation for me. But I could really see anybody really wearing this for any upscale situation. Stylish. Anytime you're not dressed in like jeans and a t-shirt, pretty much. That's what all these scents were for. These scents were for the non-t-shirt, non-hoodie. This is how I dress. This is what I do. So that's why I incorporated it this way. But this is a great scent. You're going to get earthy green notes such as like patchouli and wormwood. You're going to get your spices, cinnamon definitely. And I mean, this stuff is just great. And you're going to get a beautiful tonka note in here. Good stuff. On some though, just like alone, might not last as long. So, that's pretty much my 2 selections. I'm going to go ahead and tag Chad in. Hope you all enjoyed the list. Chad, you could take it away now, bro.
Thank you, Mr. Joe Anthony, for that introduction. Everybody, Chad here. So, my top 5 personal favorites, I had to really narrow it down, and it was a little tough. So, my top 5 personal favorites are Perry Ellis M. This is definitely sexiness in a bottle. It's got that cinnamon note, and it just projects so well in the heat. This is probably one of my most complimented fragrances. Another great fragrance, and this is pretty much dessert in a bottle, and that is Sushi Imperial by Boyce 1920. The first thing that comes to mind when I smell this is apple pie. Apple pie in a bottle. But it's also got that vanilla and that cinnamon in it, so it's pretty much apple pie, vanilla ice cream with a little bit of cinnamon sprinkled on top of it. Lasts a really long time. It's a little unisex, but it's sexy, it's sweet, and it's absolutely delicious. For my summer fragrances, I really had a hard time narrowing this one down. But Bleu de Chanel, it's got that blast of citrus, that grapefruit, lemon, whatever. It lasts a really long time, and women really like it. It's got that pepper note to it as well. Very nice, great scent from the House of Chanel. Another personal favorite of mine, this is more of a refined, more of a sophisticated gentleman. A man with a quiet confidence can definitely pull this off and doesn't want a lot of attention. That is Canali Black Diamond. This is a great signature scent. It's perfect for formal, and it's elegant, and it's just refined. Like, this is gentleman right here. It's got that leather note in it with a touch of sweetness. Lasts a very long time. Now, another sexiness in a bottle, this would be the winter version of Perry Ellis M. And that is Christensen, New York. Doesn't get a lot of talk about it, but guys, like when it dries down, it's got that hint of spice, that little bit of amber, and it's smooth, and trust me, it's just sexy. Like, I've asked a few of my lady friends, and they think it's sexy as hell. This is the winter version of Perry Ellis M. Now, my top 5 stylish fragrances when you're styled up, doesn't necessarily have to be black tie or formal, but just when you're dressed up, that would be Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb. This one slaps you in the face and slugs you in the sinuses. Very strong, so easy on the applications. That cinnamon note is delicious, and it lasts a long time. Could be a little overpowering if you over apply. Another great one, this is breakfast in a bottle. Not dessert, but breakfast in a bottle. And that is Bond No. 9 New Harlem. It's got that coffee note, that coffee vibe with maple syrup and pancakes. It's delicious. It lasts a long time, and it's sweet. Another personal favorite of mine would be Dior Homme. that lipstick vibe, that iris. It's sexy. It's got that hint of cocoa. Women love it. This lasts a very long time. After Perrier LSM, this is probably my most complimented fragrance. Great for all year. I think it does best for myself in the summertime. My top stylish fragrance for the winter. This is sophistication in a bottle. Any man could pull this off who has a sense of refinement, who's a gentleman, who's sophisticated and mature. Michael Kors for men. It's got that hint of tobacco, that patchouli. It's just refinement and sophistication in a glass bottle. Perfect for winter and pretty much could be used for any setting. Another great one would be the hockey puck itself, Bulgari Black. It's got that tire, that rubber note. Could be a little strong, a little bit hard to handle during the opening, but during the dry down, it's so worth it. It's got that touch of vanilla. You know what? It's more of a touch. It's got a lot of vanilla. It's just a beautiful fragrance. It could be mature. Anybody could wear it though. So young teenager to an older gentleman. But it's just a delicious and sophisticated and stylized fragrance. So those are my top 5 fragrances for my personal favorites and my top 5 for stylish frags. I hope you like. Joe, thank you so very much for doing this collaboration with me again. That's K&M video number 2. See you guys later.